Well, hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome in. It is always so wonderful to see you. I am Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your September reading. So let's jump into it. Let's see what is on the horizon for you. Whoa, nice. Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. It's also the number 10. It means that you're at the end of a very difficult cycle, okay? And we just had a new moon in Virgo. We have the full lunar eclipse on the 7th, which is also a full moon in Pisces. And then we also have another new moon in Virgo. I think it's on September 22nd. So September is just this wide awakening, okay? Eclipses help us to see what is blocking us, what is preventing us from moving forward. And you could feel like you've been stuck for some time. You know, the 10 can represent that, something has come to an end or something needs to come to an end. You need to allow yourself to walk away from a situation or a relationship that really isn't in alignment with the abundance, with the joy, the happiness, the sense of fulfillment that you are seeking in this lifetime. I feel like there's something that is coming to light, especially around that eclipse, September 7th. Something is coming to light, okay? Whether you receive information from another person or somebody reveals a secret or a truth, or intuitively, because the buffalo is very spiritual energy. You could receive some type of intuitive hit, right? A download, information that all of a sudden you see the clarity. What has been blocking you no longer can block you, because once we see the truth in something, it's almost as though we're like the buffalo stampeding forward, right? It's kind of like, oh, I get it now. Right? And I feel like for some of you, you could have been searching for this block for some time. What's blocking me? I'm really trying to move forward. Sagittarius, you put a lot of time and energy into your life, into the projects that are near and dear to your soul, right? Into the relationships near and dear to your heart. This is the energy of understanding what has been blocking you. Yeah, gates of triumph. It's you literally are coming to the end of a very difficult cycle. 10s are hard, right? 10s are allowing ourselves to say, what did I learn in this previous cycle, right? And what wisdom do I want to take forward with me? But I'm not taking the pain. I'm not taking people and situations that no longer are in alignment with me, but also recognizing that those people, those situations were on your path for a reason, to bring you insight, wisdom, allowing yourself to see who you really and truly are, allowing yourself to walk through these gates. You could have seen or felt these gates, right? It's kind of like you're in the dark, but you can see or if it's sense. I'm going to say sense. There's a lot of intuitive energy here. Sense that the sun is about to dawn for you, but you're not really sure when or how, right? It's just kind of like this sense. I know there's a breakthrough, right? It's the energy of a breakthrough. And I wouldn't be surprised. This is really the energy of it coming in a very spiritual manner, perhaps even doing a full moon ceremony on the 7th, right? Allowing yourself to really work with your spirit guides. This is a little bit of the Wheel of Fortune energy too, the divine timing. Like, it wasn't meant to happen until now. Certain things had to play out in your life so that when this truth is revealed to you, right, a truth about who you really are, or the truth about a situation or a relationship, it's kind of like you wouldn't have been able to see the truth until you got to this point on your path. So don't allow yourself to fall into, I wasted a lot of time with that person, or I wasted a lot of time with that situation. It was meant to happen at this time. There was nothing you could have done to speed it up. Okay, I feel like I'm really being compelled to tell you that. Yes, peace. And you're totally at peace with it. You're seeing why this had to play out the way it played out. Isn't that a beautiful energy, right? It's kind of like that is the epitome of what we are searching for in this lifetime, right? Having peace, being at peace, not wrestling anymore with why did things happen, or why can't I move forward, or why can't I have what it is that I desire. All of a sudden you recognize, right? You see the truth in something and it brings you almost like instant relief, dropping the burden of that. Yeah, you're really trying to manifest something, perhaps. Okay, a soulmate. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. Perhaps soulmates, soul tribe. It could also be a business partner. You're kind of like trying to manifest. And look at this, peace on the bottom again. So we have peace and two different decks. Really recognizing that whatever you have been, I'm going to say, they're coming back to the buffalo and they keep saying roaming. You could have spent even the last 10 years, okay? Because Pluto in Capricorn from 2008 until earlier this year was very detrimental to Sagittarians, okay? It played out very difficultly for you. It was meant to help you to learn who you are, your worthiness, whether others recognize it or not, okay? So part of this is that you're coming to peace, all right? I feel with people or situations that didn't acknowledge you, didn't acknowledge who you really and truly are. People that maybe you even twisted yourself into a pretzel in order for them to either love you or accept you or acknowledge you, right? This is the energy of you've been roaming, trying to perhaps try to figure out how to get people to like you or accept you, whatever that may be, right? Or to accept the work that you are wanting to put out there. Or it is also about roaming and trying to find happiness and joy, fulfillment in your work or in your relationships. Kind of like an energy of seeking and not being able to acquire it. So something is occurring. You're allowing yourself to see the clarity that you have been missing, okay? The block. And I feel like this is a spiritual block, to be honest. This is the energy of seeing yourself, right, as a wise one, as a truth. You have the truth be told, coming out. See, you have the status quo. I'm roaming. I'm trying to figure out the truth. I'm trying to figure out what the block is. I'm trying to figure out why I can't acquire what it is that I am seeking. Whether that is unconditional love, joy in life, fulfillment in your career, or just acknowledgement from the rest of the universe, right? From people or situations, or even perhaps your spirit guides and angels, feeling a little bit forsaken and trying to figure out why. All of a sudden, the truth is revealed to you. And if you see in that card, right, it's an owl and he has the window to his heart is open. There's something here about recognizing what you have really and truly been seeking for, unlocking the key to something that has been preventing you from feeling at home. See, this is interesting. You've been roaming perhaps for the last 10 years, okay? Seeking happiness, joy, fulfillment, love, right? It could even be your whole life. Okay, but at least let's take a look at the last 10 years, how that's played out. And then all of a sudden, in the end, you are finding yourself at home, whatever that means. Home is that sense of peace, of feeling at home with ourselves, of understanding who we are, our role in the world, why we are here, what our purpose is. It's almost like you maybe haven't been able to really commit to anything because it hasn't felt like home to you. You may have gotten fired up about something, right? But then you get into it and you're not getting either the external validation or the internal validation to say, yes, I'm ready to settle down, right? You may stick with something for a while or a relationship for a while, but then all of a sudden you find yourself roaming again. Okay, so they're sending a message. This might not be for everyone, but part of the thing here is your obstacle is intuition and manifestation and kindred partnership. If you have had people that have left your life, and maybe people that you thought that it would be good for you, were kindred partners, right? Were people that you thought were in alignment with you, but then you got into it and maybe you were trying to make it work, but that person left, okay? Or that situation left your life, and perhaps in a very unpleasant way, very painful way, with the 10 here and getting like the 10 of swords, right? And you haven't been able to figure out why. The thing is that what they want you to know, you have 2 cards of manifestation. You actually, on a subconscious level, a soul level, actually manifested that person or situation leaving your life because you knew it wasn't in alignment for this bigger thing that is opening up for you. Now, I know, Sagittarius, that can be sometimes difficult to kind of like sit with, right? That we have brought on a painful ending in our own life. But I think that there's something here about understanding, right? That all along you've had this roaming energy of understanding that even when you were with a person or a situation that you thought was in alignment, it's kind of like deep down you knew it wasn't. So allowing yourself to say, okay, that was a painful situation that ended, right? But really recognizing it had to end because your soul knew, your guides knew, the divine knew that's not in alignment. So if that helps, it may bring you a little bit of peace, a sense of they didn't do it to you, they did it for you, right? And that you in some way helped to manifest that because you knew there was something, a much better connection, a much more aligned energy ahead for you, meant for you in this lifetime. Somebody that is going to really and truly help you to feel at home with yourself. This is the energy of unconditional love, right? You may not have experienced it as a child. You may have been searching for it your entire adult life up to this point. But that's the point. Up until this point, you've been roaming. All of a sudden, it's kind of like you're coming to peace with it all. You're seeing how, I feel like for some of you, it's like seeing how things have played out actually for your favor. And it's maybe allowing yourself to switch the perspective of difficult things, difficult endings in the past, and understanding, no, wait a minute, that was for my higher good, right? It all of a sudden shifts your energy to understanding, wait a minute, I'm at peace with that ending. I'm at peace. Even if it was difficult at the time, you're coming into peace with it because you know these gates are opening for you. There has been a lot of wisdom. This is like soul evolution. You've been on this path of really going deep, figuring out who you are. This sense of understanding that it's almost like you're literally walking into a new world, of seeing yourself in a new light, of seeing the world in a new light. It's kind of like you've been playing maybe with those Pluto and Capricorn rules, okay, since 2008, and understanding, oh no, we're in Pluto in Aquarius now, a much more open, expansive energy, something you thrive in. And allowing yourself to say, yes, those Capricorn days are over. I may have had to search all this time because I was playing by these archaic, that's the word they're giving me, archaic rules of how the world works. All of a sudden, you're having these epiphany. This truth is coming to light. you're like, oh my goodness, no, wait a minute, that's not the way the world works. You were conditioned to believe that for one reason or another, but you had to come into this truth of seeing who you really are, why you really here, what the world, how the world really works, especially in the world of manifestation. Okay, it's almost like you've been using the wrong rules of manifestation because this is your obstacle. You've been thinking perhaps that you have to be super committed and work super hard at something, right, in order for it to work. All of a sudden, and maybe you've seen all these other people manifesting their dream life, and you're like, why can't I do it? Well, you've been working with this archaic idea of the rules of manifestation. You're understanding that when you align to what your heart truly desires, right? You put your time and energy into what your heart, your soul is calling you to do, instead of what all these other people think you should do or have conditioned you to believe that you should do. All of a sudden, you find this peace, this calm. You're no longer having to work so hard at it. All of a sudden, the things that you are wanting, desiring, come easily to you. Wow, powerful energy here. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Yes, you're stepping into this Queen of Wands energy, very much your energy, confident, right? You're understanding, okay, part of this is perhaps you've been manifesting out of an energy of fear. Fear, I'm not going to get what I want. Fear that I'm not as worthy of other people, instead of loving yourself and loving what you are manifesting. There's something here about recognizing, seeing, you have the Hanged Man, seeing happiness, joy, peace, home, family, unconditional love, right? Allowing yourself to unconditionally love you and yourself, okay? And what is right in front of you helps to open up these gates to seeing, okay, wait a minute. Because when we're super grateful, when we're in that energy of really and truly unconditionally loving what we already have, instead of nitpicking it or wanting something else, roaming, saying this isn't enough, I want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, but it's like you first have to allow yourself to love what is right in front of you. And when you can do that, it's like these gates open, more options are available to you. If you're feeling stuck, I would really spend the month of September really in great gratitude for what you have right in front of you. All right, the food that is in front of you, your health, the home that you're in. Doesn't mean that you don't want more, but maybe you have been trying to manifest from this energy of always wanting more. It could be a conditioned belief that you should never settle. Okay, this isn't about settling. This is different, right? This isn't about settling or a feeling that you don't deserve more. Okay, whatever you may have been kind of like working on, because this is a soul lesson. Instead, it's about really loving what is right in front of you. Really and truly spending time, right? One-on-one with your pet, right? Talking to your plants, talking to the butterflies in your backyard, right? Really and truly focusing on what you love in your life right now, and allow yourself to cut off those negative, judgmental things about what you don't like, okay? This would be a better home if I had blah, blah, blah. Instead, love, truly allow yourself to go deep and love what is right in front of you. You know, for some of you, it could be that you grew up in a home with a parent that kind of like role modeled for you, never being happy, never being satisfied with what is right in front of them, including perhaps you, right? Allowing yourself, yeah, look at that child orphan. I feel like you felt, okay, feelings of abandonment. that stifle maturation, right? Feeling inappropriate, surrogate families. You could have been seeking out inappropriate surrogate families because you didn't receive what you needed as a child. You felt orphaned. You felt overlooked. You felt like you didn't have the unconditional love that you were seeking. So you've always been seeking people or situations that really weren't appropriate for you, really weren't in alignment with your soul's purpose, because you were seeking, okay, this energy of roaming and seeking, okay, that feeling of unconditional love. Here's the key: unconditionally loving yourself and what is right in front of you. And once again, it doesn't mean that you can't have other things. Okay, it is not a message of settling, okay? Because I feel like some of you are like, I shouldn't have to settle for this, okay? It's not about settling. It's about really and truly, and think about when you were a child. Did you feel like you were receiving that unconditional love from the adults in your life? That you were loved for exactly who you are, not for what your what you could do in the future or whatever. Did you ever feel truly loved for who you are at that moment, right? Allowing yourself to recognize how much your heart is aching for that unconditional love. And the key here to open these gates, to find this abundance, to move forward quickly, is to just stop and love yourself unconditionally. Not, I'll be happy when, right? I'm happy right now. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful plate of food I have in front of me. Oh my goodness, you know, look in the mirror and tell yourself what you love about yourself, not what you'll love about yourself when you lose 10 pounds. Or when you figure out that anti-aging wrinkle cream, right? It's kind of like, love yourself, love what you have right now. I would just really spend September doing that. Your energy will change. You're going to all of a sudden have all these new opportunities that are more in alignment with who you are really wanting to be, okay? And you'll move out of the energy of settling, okay? And into the energy of no longer feeling orphaned, because the light side says independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. That's what you've been manifesting, trying to manifest out of fear. Remember, I said that. It's like, instead, manifest out of love. Love for what you have right now and love for what you would like to have in the future. Wow, this is huge, Sag. This is really a big reading. I feel like things are really opening up for you because you're recognizing, you know, the difference between trying to manifest out of fear and manifest out of love. You could have had role models as a child where it was all about survival, right? And maybe you have in your mind gotten this perspective, right, that you have to try to manifest or work life so that you're not in survival mode, right? But then you're in survival mode. When you're actually trying to manifest out of the fear of, I don't want to just survive, you put yourself into the survival mode. So instead, it's kind of like, okay, I'm allowing myself to be grateful for what you have created. Your reality right now is something you have co-created with spirit. Acknowledging that, recognizing that. And it's kind of like loving what you have already created in your life. What you have right now, you have created your previous manifestations have created your reality right now. Now you're recognizing, wait a minute, if I love what I have right now, and I love what it is that I am wanting to acquire in the future, there's the key to manifesting. There's the key to manifesting what it is my heart truly desires. Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And Sagittarius, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. What passion am I ready to pursue? I think that is what you are missing. You're not allowing yourself to put time and energy into your passions because your focus has been on survival, right? And it could be a sense of survival that really isn't linked to what you consider where you want to be, but what you have been conditioned to believe is what you want in your life. It's really about opening your heart. What's the truth? What do you really and truly want? What do you really and truly desire, Sagittarius? It's time to focus on that, right? And focus on gratitude for what you already have. Your passions will continuously lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? Yeah, trust your soul's whispering and let your passions draw you towards your dream life. I feel like you've been trying to manifest a life that isn't really in alignment with what you want for yourself. That's kind of like understanding, oh, wait a minute, right? I've been wanting, desiring, living my life, thinking this is what I wanted because that's what you were conditioned to believe. Now you're like, no, that's not even what I want. And understanding that the people and the situations that have left your life have been, okay, because your soul really knew that's not what I really wanted. That's not why I'm here. Oh, what do I want? Okay, time to get busy on that. Put time and energy into those things that you love, especially what's in your life right now. What do you love that's right in front of you, including yourself, right? I love this about myself. I love this about my life. I love this about my home, my friends, the people in my life, my work. That's what I love. I want more of that, right? It's not settling. It's allowing yourself to concentrate on what you have and what you love and putting your time and energy there, okay? And allowing yourself to move forward, knowing that the people and situations that have left your life were not meant to stay on your path. They played a role, but that time is at end, right? Allow yourself to get excited. There are beautiful things ahead for you. All right, Sag, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I really and truly appreciate all your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.